Hey guys, James here with UFSU University. Back at it again with another deck profile. This time we're with Michael Boyd, one of our locals player, who took what to the recent PTC?
I took Tournelouse 1 dot to Dallas.
Okay, how'd you do?
Yeah, 9th place.
Solid.
I had like the best strength of schedule, but Shane had a better record than me.
That happens. Okay, anything you want to say before we get into the profile?
My deck's insane, and I just want to give a shout out to Travis TNT Tangeman for being my fanboy the entire weekend, and for everybody in Discord and for the Twitch stream for rooting for me. I really appreciate it. I've only been playing this game for 2 months, so if I can continue to get love like that, then I guess I'll be here for a while.
Okay, let's get into the profile.
Alright, so yeah, I played Air Torn at Dallas. I think this deck's really fun. I think my build is very unorthodox. I think it's really rad. I abuse probably one of the better foundations that came out of this set. And I'm playing just a bunch of different attacks from a bunch of different characters. I think my deck's really cool. This is the first deck I've ever built by myself, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Since I'm playing Torn, obviously I'm playing 4 of the 1 dot. I start with 4 of them in play. It's really good. His first enhance is I can add a character card into my staging area as a cost to give it attack 4 damage. And then his other enhance is once per turn I can give a gauge attack throw. So I can give Bargeist Fang throw, or I can give Nether Storm throw. I'm not playing Lightning Spike in this list, I just don't really like it. But yeah, I'm playing him under air, and I'm a 7-hander, 20 lifer. He's really fun. I really like this guy. I like the top hat. So I recently made a few changes since Dallas. So I'm only playing 2 of the 2 dot. The games I lost at the PTC were from clogging characters and having to mulligan my hand, and I'm just losing out on attacks when like these could have been foundations. And I've talked to someone about like changing my list a little bit, and he agreed that it was the right choice to play 2 dots. The games that I've tested, it hasn't mattered. I haven't needed more than that. But yeah, so I'm only playing 2 dots. I think 3 is still too many. I think 2 is relevant enough for the 0 mid block in the Breaker 1. But his first enhance, after you build him, you can give -1 to your opponent's next check to play a card for each character card in your card pool. So there's like certain plays that you can get with like Nether Storm going to where you can give them like -4 to their next check with Nether Storm in this. And then his other one is after a character card enters or leaves your staging area, you make your opponent flip one of their foundations. So you're just like really pesky. Yeah, it's just a really pesky deck. It's really annoying. It's really cool. Yeah, and he's a little pupper. Boom. So this is the card that I think everybody was excited to see in my list, or at least that's what I heard. I'm playing 4 Fog Blanket. There's a lot of good like 3-speed attacks that I play in the deck. So like I'm playing Bargeist Fang, I'm playing Nether Storm, and then I'm playing Kiko Show. This card's really sweet. It's kick, reversal, stun 2, and then combo with a 3-speed attack. It's combo enhances. I can pay 2 life, discard 1 card from my card pool to. Oh, wait, really? Oh, hey, I'm learning something new about this card. I can discard 1 card from my card pool I can pick. It doesn't even have to be the comboed card, and I get to draw a card. And my deck does a lot of card pool manipulation of discarding cards and discarding cards to draw cards, moving cards around. And its other enhances, this card gets +1 damage for each card that's left the card pool this turn. It's not just mine, it's also for my opponent. So it's like randomly good against like Withering Toxin. They get speed off, or they get big damage, but I also get some damage off of it. This is like your main combo piece. Like you poke in with one of your gauge attacks, and then you kick it away, draw a card, stun 2. Torn can give it 4 damage. So if you use the combo enhance in Torn, it's a 3 mid for 8, which is pretty good, and it's got stun 2. And it pairs with like some of our a couple of our foundations. I really like this card. I think it's very unorthodox in this deck, but I like a lot of Taki support and I like a lot of Spike support, so that's why I threw this deck together. So I think probably next to Affliction, I think this card, in my opinion, is like a really good poke. Bargeist Fang. It's a it's a 4. But that's a 3 mid for 3. Forget to do that. It's charge gauge 3 weapon. Its first enhance is if this card has 5 or more damage, it gets +5 speed. So you use Torn's E to make it to where it has 7 damage, and even with like good DR that like people are trying to play, you can still give it 5 speed, which is really good. Throwing a 8 mid for 5 is good, an 8 mid for 7 is good, and your character can give it throw. So that's really good. And then its other enhance is relevant in this format. And it's this card cannot be blocked by character cards. It's a mid, so like character cards are going to eat this up, but you can give it speed, lots of speed with its own effect, and then make it towards unblockable with character cards. And then if you notice, 3 speed, so it combos with our fog blanket. So we get like really big damage turns, and like we just net gain like a lot of advantage for not playing a lot of cards. That's what I really like about this deck, and that's why I have it built the way I do. So I wasn't playing this in Dallas. Instead, I was playing Fumasil Fatal Violet. But I'm testing out this card, and I like it a lot more. It's better on defense. It's way better on offense, I think. And it's just all around a good card. And it's 3. It's got the same stats as Violet, but it's just got a flipped zone. But I'm playing 3 Netherstorm. This card's got a lot of text on it. It's a 5, 3 high for 6, checks a 3, so that's pretty good. Charge, gauge 6, range, reversal. While this card is in your card pool, your character cards don't count towards progressive difficulty, so you can stuff your card pool with just a bunch of 2 dots or the 1 dots, and you can afford to leave them there. You don't have to discard them with your card pool manipulation cards, because he's going to give minus checks, and then if this hits them and you build this 2 dot, the 2 dot's going to give minus checks. You can stack these, and they're definitely not going to block your Netherstorm. It's just not going to happen. But so its first enhance, I think, is really good. It's kind of like Moonset. You add a character card from your discard pile into your card pool, and then you pick one of your opponent's face-down foundations and add it to their hand. Unfortunately, you have to do the entire card effect. So like sometimes you accidentally like give them the block for their card, but it's fine. And then his other enhance is just like Torn 2 dots. Your opponent's next check to play a card gets -1 for each card in your character pool, or in your card pool. So you can start off your combo with like, let's say you review a character or check a character. You can play this, add that character card in, then you can use Torn's effect to add another character card in, and then you can use this enhance to give it -2. And then I got like other sweet combos with the foundations. But yeah, this card is also a very good poke, and it sets up like really long turns. And it's just got good damage. Like with your character, you can make it a 3 high for 10 with throw. Unfortunately, you don't get to gauge, but I think if this card had gauge 5, it would be really good. It would be too good, to be honest. So I wanted to bump this up, but I'm having problems finding room. But I'm playing 2 Irradiate right now. When I start the game off, I can add almost any attack except for this, Kikasho, and Netherstorm. But I can add any attack, any foundation, any action, any asset from my discard pile to my hand, like right at the jump. And then it's a 2 high for 5, so it's like really easy to block, but it's also really good because it's a gauge attack to give throw. But it's a Fury gauge 5 ranged, 5 check, 2 high for 5. And I can add 1 card from my discard pile to my hand equal to the number of characters I have. So I start off with 4, so I can add 4s or less. And then its other enhances, I can reveal a character card in my hand to give it 4 damage. That was actually really relevant at Dallas. I was chucking 2 high 13 gauge 5 throws, radiates. Not many decks can deal with that. like Flame War decks can deal with it, but they're still going to take 7 damage. So this card's insane. I want to try and find more room in it. And if you're playing Air Torn yourself, you definitely should try and max this out. I'm kind of disappointed that I can't max this card out. As you can see by the playmat and by my character, I'm playing 2 Iron Knuckle. This card's really good.
I'm just gonna look at this because I haven't got a chance to yet.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely. I think this card's beautiful personally. That's just my opinion. But this card's recently got reprinted through like the PTC promos. But it's a 4 high for 4, checks at 3. It's a punch tech weapon, and it says if your opponent blocks this attack, you seal their block. So you can seal like flame auras or nutcrackers. Like your opponent just can't afford to block with those. They just don't do anything. And then its enhance is this card gets +1 attack and +1 speed for each character card you have in your staging area. So if you play this on turn 1, it's an 8 high for 8, and if you're going second and you play it, it's a 8 high for 12. It's pretty good on a 4. Yeah. The other builds play 4 of this, but this doesn't mesh well with the combo I'm trying. But it's relevant enough to stay in the deck. It's an amazing poke. It's the best poke in your deck besides Irradiate. Yeah, this card's just insane. This card's beautiful. I think this mat's really pretty too, but that's just me. I'm just rambling. And then to round up my attack lineup, I played 2 Kikisho. This combos really well with Fog Blanket, plus it's a 3 speed, and it does 6 damage, so it hits pretty hard. But it's a 6, and it has a static. If your last attack was blocked this turn, you can give this attack -3 difficulty and +3 speed. One problem I find with this deck is that my attacks don't get enough speed, so that's why I'm trying out Nether Storms and a couple other things. But it also has an enhance of add a kick from my card pool to my momentum, and then I can ready a foundation. It can be one that's already been earned. If this attack has over 6 or greater speed, then I can ready a foundation, and it can be any foundation, even if it's already been readied. It's just a good combo piece. You like poke in with like a Bargeist Fang and a Fog Blanket, and they block the Fog Blanket, think they're safe. Then you can Kikisho, put the Fog Blanket away, hit them for some more damage, and then you can play like another Fog Blanket. This deck's got a lot of combo potential, and like if you build it for yourself, or if you like watch, if you watched my the live stream at all, you can see it has a really neat combo potential. I really like this deck, so yeah. I'm just trying to get them. I played just one asset, and that's Swordfish 2. It's a 3. The enhance I use it for is add this card to your momentum, add your opponent's attack, or even your attack to your momentum. It's just a good defensive piece. It's a pretty key defensive piece for air. I changed my action lineup just a tad. I'm only playing 2 Let's Cut Loose. It drops down the important foundations I need built. It adds blocks to my hand. It draws a card. And my deck already draws a lot of cards. So without me really doing anything, like I can play an attack, and I can have like anywhere from 8 to 9 cards in my hand just by playing one attack, because this deck gains a lot of free advantage. That's why I like this deck. It's a 6 check, so it's really good for our deck, just because we're trying to play a lot of attacks. Yeah, it's basically a staple of this format, right? I'd say. I don't know. Then this is my spicy tech that I don't know, not a lot of people know of, I guess. This is Taki's action from Soul Calibur. Focus and release. It's a 2, 1 high block, 6 check. It's got 2 different effects. It's got a form, remove, discard 1 card from your card pool. That's anything from your card pool. And it also has a response. After you're dealt damage from an attack, not like a burn damage or anything like that, you have to like physically get hit. You can discard a card from both players' card pool, and then you can give -3 damage to their next attack. That actually came up a decent amount during Dallas. It helped me live. It can discard a multiple copy, so if like somebody multiple twos you take the first one, play this, you kick out one of the other multiple copies, and then you give the next multiple copy -3. So like this is like really good against like Windmill Punch and like attacks like that. And yeah, it just extends combo plays. You can kick out You can kick out spare character cards that you can't get rid of. You can kick out Irradiates because they don't combo with your deck. You can kick out Iron Knuckle because it doesn't exactly combo with your deck. Worst case scenario, you can even like, I don't know, kick out like a foundation that you block with if your opponent like tries to reversal you. This card's actually really insane. I was gonna cut it down to 2, but I don't think I can do it. I like this card too much. It just adds to your insane combo potential. And then I'm playing two big because I'm a 7-hander. That's air. I use it for the enhanced seal 1 card on my opponent's staging area, but it also has a response. If your opponent doesn't block, you deal 3 damage, draw a card. It gets there. It gets you there sometimes. I beat Clinton on the live stream for Game 3. Spoilers. Because he didn't block my Bargeist Fang. He was at 10, and I exact seeded him. I side more of this card in my sideboard, but I wouldn't main any more of it just because I'm already playing 7 actions, and I'm tired of bricking actions. It really sucks. So now on to the foundations. So my foundations are what I like to combo with. My foundation base is like really important. So like some of it's like hard to cut, and it just like meshes well with like the idea. So I'm playing 4 Evil Eye. Not only is this one of my main defensive pieces, but it's also one of my main combo pieces. It's a 2-check, 2 high block on a 5. Abilities on this card are playable while committed, so it's really good. Anytime you need to pass a check, you just tap this card. You don't even have to worry about tapping your Hell's Reach or bridging the races. You'll like always tap this because both effects are playable. But you can flip it to return attack to printed speed, which is really nice. And then you can also use its other enhance to remove a character card from your hand or your card pool to draw a card. So what I'm trying to do is play a Bargeist Fang. Show you. Yeah. So I'm trying to play a Bargeist Fang. And then I'm going to use Torn's effect to give it 4 damage. So then I can also give it 5 speed with its own effect. So it's 8 mid for 7. And then I can use Evil Eye to remove this from play to draw a card. So not only does the Bargeist Fang replace itself because of Torn giving me a free character card, but then that also gives me 1 card that's left my card pool this turn, and then I just like stack this effect with removing all my character cards to get net gain advantage, and then every single time I play an attack with Evil Eye, it just replaces itself. So if a card like Fog Blanket gives me an extra card as well, I'm just net gaining even more advantage. So like Fog Blanket, combo with Fog Blanket draws me 2 cards instead of just 1. It's really good. It's really, really good. And it's that interaction is like why I love this deck so much, because I'll just go from 7 cards to like 9 cards in a matter of 2 attacks, and if I'm gaining like advantage while I'm attacking you, you're probably gonna lose that game. But yeah, this card's really, really important. It being sealed sucks, but you can still win past it, and that's why I like how I have this deck built. But yeah, this is the most important card in the deck, in my opinion. And I'm playing for Finding What Was Lost, because I'm playing Taki and Spike support. This card's really important. It's a 3 mid block, twice per turn. I can give +1 damage to an attack for each card that's left my card pool this turn. So when my deck gets going, I can get to like 6 or 7, so I can be given 6 or 7 damage to my attacks. This is also one of my main combo pieces, so that's why I'm playing 4 of it. It's spam. It's really good. I think this is probably the weirdest, like most important foundation in the deck. So I'm trying to kill on turn 2, and I need to protect my foundation base, but it's also a low block, and with how I have this deck built, I don't have a lot of low blocks, and it's really frustrating just because I feel like I don't have a lot of good low blocks under air. But it's a 1/5 too low flip. If any of my foundations would be destroyed or leave my staging area, I prevent that effect. So it's just good spam that protects my foundations, and also has a really good block that I can pick up with Let's Cut Loose. And then another defensive piece that a lot of decks are playing right now is a 3 High Seas Adventure. I was playing 4. It's kind of bricky. But I'm actually really lucky, and I like draw this card like every single match. But it's a 3 no block on a 4. Our response remove after this attack is played, it gains flash. So I don't want to deal with that moon set. All right, sure. I'll block it, and I'll reversal you with this Nether Storm to give your next check -2. That's just one really good example there. Played against 2 Raptors at Dallas. Had to side it out. It was unfortunate, but I had better things to side. This is besides your natural toughness from your character giving minus to your opponent's check, this is your best defensive piece. It's definitely a staple in this deck. I'm playing 3 Cage Fighter because we're already minusing our opponent's check with Nether Storm and the 2-dot. So why not minus their check some more, right? It's good spam. It's a 1 on a 5, 3 high block. That part's irrelevant, but you flip it to give their check -1, and then if they fail it, their turn's not over. That's the only bad part about this deck, or about this card, but this card would be insane if it didn't do that. And this is like more of our spam. We're playing 3 Hell's Reach. It's a 0 3 mid block on a 5 enhance flip. Ready this card, playable while committed. It's really good. Build like 2 of these on turn 1. You're probably gonna kill on turn 2. 1 foundation turns to 2. Like even Goro decks can play this. Like 1 foundation turns to 3. It's pretty good. I don't like playing 4 of it just because I'm not. I've thought about playing 4 of it, but I like it at 3. I see it enough. It's got a bad block compared to my other attacks and foundations, and it gets me there when I need it. Plus, if I'm all out of characters, I can add it off of Radiate. That's really good. I actually really like this card, and I want to play 4 of it, but I don't think it's good enough to play 4 of it. But I play 3 Push the Limit. It's just a 0/5 with a random blow block, and it flips a foundation, which is really neat because my 2-dot character already naturally flips foundations. But yeah, it's just mainly there for spam. It's annoying spam. These are like kind of combo pieces, but they're not like too detrimental to the deck. So I'm playing 2 Unite Against Terrorism. It's a 2/5 3 low block response. After a card leaves your card pool with an effect, you can flip this to ready a foundation that has been ready this turn. So you Bargeist Fang, put a character card in, give it stats, and then remove it with Evil Eye, and then you can respond with this. Or you can respond with your Fog Blanket kicks. You can respond on your focus and release. You can respond on, Let's Cut Loose, bringing it down. It's just really good. It's another low block. It gives me more than 1 resource. It's pretty good. I'm playing 2 Bridging the Races. I loved this card initially, but it's just been wearing down on me. It's 1/4, 2 mid block. Enhance your kick, punch, or slam gets +1 damage, +1 speed. That's pretty nice. And then respond once per turn. After a card enters or leaves your staging area, you can ready this, and that affects playable while committed. And then you can only do it if this hasn't been readied yet. So you can like do really cool. You can like manipulate really cool plays to where you like tap this first, and then sorry, excuse me. So you tap this first, and then you ready it with Unite Against Terrorism. Then you can tap it again later, and then you can put a character card in, and then you can ready it because it hasn't been ready with its own effect yet, and that overrides Unite Against Terrorism. It's a decent combo piece. It's good spam, and it's a foundation that readies itself, so that's pretty good. And then the last card I'm playing for 60 is Wandering Pirate. It's good. 2/4 no block, unique. After your opponent combat phase begins, you ready this card, and then anytime this card is up to twice per turn, anytime this card is tapped or readied, you can ready another resource. That's super relevant in this deck. I wasn't playing it for Dallas. I wish I was, because you just get like insane plays with United Against Terrorism or Bridging the Races of just like messing with all 3 of them and tapping and ready all 3 of them. It's really good. Like this deck can, with how I have it built, it can do a lot of funny stuff with its foundations. But yeah, that's my my unorthodox Air Torn deck. But yeah, so that's my deck profile. This is like first deck profile I've done, and it's like hard because I'm like really antsy about this deck. I really like this deck. It's the first deck I've ever built, and that was the first PTC I went to, and I got 9th place. It's a little sad just because I had like so many people rooting for me, but I'll try and do better for you guys next time. If you haven't, you should try this deck out for yourself. And if you do top or win something, you should give me a shout out if you use my list. That's kind of greedy. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you like the content and you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends about my super cool deck. It's not shooting shots. It's not like it's lame. This deck's really fun. You like combo a lot. You spit out a lot of damage. I think the biggest attack I've ever had was a 28 damage Fog Blanket. But it was like the best possible hand I could draw. Yeah. So yeah, thanks for watching. Stay learned.